Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Maximo Perez, and I'm here to present to you my presentation for why I want to be External Affairs for PA. My name is Maximo Perez. A lot of you know me as Max. I go by he, him. I'm a third-year psychology major with a minor in economics. And I want to give you my experience and background first before anything. For starters, my first three things I want to talk about is currently I am the Director of Internal Affairs for Alpha Kappa Psi. Back in my first year, but I shadowed for Social Affairs for PA under Darius. And as well as that, I was also part of the Professional Development Committee for AK Psi when I was joining last semester. And I want to lump all three of these together because a lot of these three things taught me a lot of the same skills that I now have today that I think make me qualified to be external affairs. For starters, these have all taught me how to organize and work with other people in group settings. And I feel like that's really important for someone in the external affairs position because it's not like I'm going to have like a big committee, but I'm going to be working with a lot, or I would be working with a lot of organizations outside of UC Merced, outside of just Merced in general, and working out logistics of how can we get here, how can we meet together, and how can we organize everything all online because of how inconvenient it would be for us to meet in person. As well as that, I want to bring up that I'm pretty well connected in the Merced area as well as in the Central Valley because I've grown up here my whole life. The Central Valley has my heart. As much as I don't talk about it, I love the Central Valley to death. I work at MT right now, that is off campus, and that gives me the ability to hear about and talk to other people about what's going on in Merced, what events they have, and learning more about like what events are being hosted at like the Applegate Zoo through my coworkers, or like what's happening at the community college, and having the ability to know what's happening all the way back in my hometown of the home area of the Central Valley. Going on to my why, I really want to talk about how human connections are really what enrich our lives. And this semester, I feel like that's like what's been revealed to me the most by picking up my audience. They have my heart. And after picking them up and seeing everyone else get picked up and learning more from everyone else, I'm just like, I want to be able to provide that so much for everyone else in PA and all the new incoming members. And I want to be that face to them that they're like, they see as someone that is so welcoming them into the club and welcoming them into our community and into our space when they don't know where to go. Moving on to what I would want to do is I have three main pillars that I want to focus on if I were to be elected. And the first one is expanding our alumni network into not just the people who are graduating right now, but working really hard to communicate with people who have graduated before, who I'm aware of, like starting with cabinet members especially, creating like an Excel sheet and having something for current members to refer to for help. As well as that, I want to create a community in Central Valley. I think that's really, really important to me because of how much I feel like the Central Valley lacks community beforehand. And as well as that, one of the things that inspired me the most is reaching out to... It's okay. Thank you. Dang.
At this time, Britt will be escorted outside.
What's gonna happen outside? Wow.
And just like before, our first question will be reserved for the current chair, Angela Torres. I wish to move into questions.
Second.
Hi Max, this is really, really good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I just wanted you to elaborate just because you did get it cut off. Like, how would you mean by creating like a community around Merced?
There are colleges that... Does this sound fine? Okay, just making sure. There are colleges around the Central Valley that we haven't reached out to before, even because they don't have like specifically Filipino organizations like CCU Stan, like Stan State. My uncle went there, not like uncle by blood, but my uncle went there, and there's like, I'm forgetting the name right now, but they have a club like centered on Asian American, especially like Pacific Islanders / Filipino experiences, cultural club like that over there. And I'm like, I really wish you could reach out to them because like what, they're only 30 minutes away. And like Fresno's a bigger school in a bigger area, but it's also like, it's hard to organize us to go there all the time because an hour away is like, that adds a whole hour to the commute, like there and back, compared to like going to Turlock for Stan State. And being able to host more events and just make sure that we're known and make sure that people can come to us to hear about us and what's going on with us, like PCN, Barrio, and we are able to go to them, even if it's just our cab members, to be like, hey, we're here.
Thank you. And I have another question. Our cabinet this year has strived to push more towards a more political and cultural focus. Do you see yourself continuing to keep these focuses, and if so, how?
Can you repeat the first part?
Sorry. So our cabinet this year has strived to push more towards a more political and cultural focus. Do you see yourself continuing to keep those types of focuses, and if so, how?
I think having us, given that we're leaning more, or we're becoming more political as an organization and a club on campus, I feel like that's something I really want to align myself with, because with everything going on in America and our whole politics right now, to like cut to the chase basically, it makes me really upset because like these are things that affect me and my family, and these are things that affect real people. It's like it hurts me to see that happen, and it makes me really happy to see that other people want, or the people in Pa'a, especially in cabinet, want to push towards being more political and speaking out for these human rights things, because it can be scary to do that sometimes. And we have the backing to show that we're here to stand with you, and you being marginalized communities.
Hello, really good job.
Thank you.
Knowing that this is a newer position, there will only be 2 ever predecessors for it. How are you going to continue to establish the foundation and what this position really means to contribute to the cabinet and PAW?
I feel like to the general Pa'a community that isn't like in cab or like a shadow or an intern, it can be kind of hard to see what external does because of just little events, and a lot of it is being through communicating with other organizations, whether that be through email or like the Instagram account, and it can be more difficult for them to see that. And I think the way I want to like establish that as something that other people see, so to say, is just having more events, being more frequent, and having more open communication in Gen meets or through Instagram posts, and like setting up stuff early and being very proactive about that stuff. Because the more proactive you are about saying like, here's the state for this event that's going to happen with this organization at this school, then more people are like, okay, yeah, I can free up my calendar for that. I can like go to sleep early. But like the closer it is to the deadline, like it's a week or 2 away, it's really hard for people to get out for that. Like the UC Berkeley is like it's not necessarily external who set that up, but the UC Berkeley is a good example of like an event that was set up like early, like in advance for a lot of people to go and to network and like meet other Filipino organizations or another Filipino organization.
Hello, I'm super proud of you. So you said that your PAW moment was picking up your adings. So how do you want to bring members to experience their own PAW moment through your role?
That's a good question. I could see myself doing that by creating events for other people to connect with other people that they'd never expect. Giving people events that they can connect with other people that they would have never expected to connect to before. So that's kind of how I feel with my audience, because I never really thought about picking up too hard until I picked them up, and I picked up twins. It's like, I love them to death, and I love the connection that we have now. And it's like, if I can give more people the opportunity to connect with other people they didn't expect to connect to, it would bring me so much joy.
Good job on your presentation, Max. I
Thank you.
congratulate you. My question's kind of confusing, so if you need clarification, just let me know. But what are specific leadership skills and traits that you learned as a chair within Alpha Kappa Psi, working primarily as an internal role within the organization? And how do you plan on translating those traits into an external role for PAA? So I'm looking for traits that you can name, and then how you plan to translate those into this external role.
I think one of the bigger traits that I've learned as being a leader is setting a good example non-verbally. Because it's really easy to get up in front of, or I feel like comes to a lot of people naturally to get up in front of a crowd of people and be like, hey, let's do this thing, and just be loud and organize people that way, right? But I feel like one of the softer things or softer skills I've learned is being able to help behind the scenes, or helping clean up or picking up litter, just doing nice things without being look at me do this nice thing. And not necessarily bragging about this, but doing it in a way where you're doing it and other people see you doing it, and it's an example for other people, oh, Pa'a's like this, and other people want to be like this. And it's this is something I've learned from watching other people before. I'm not gonna name names because that would take too long. But it's it makes other people want to be like you if you're being a good person.
Sorry, really quick, another question. Can you go back to the slide with your 3 pillars? I just want to
Yeah.
quickly look at that.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Great speech. Thank you so much for presenting. My question is, realistically speaking, how would you manage your time with all your other involvements that you mentioned? Because I know you mentioned you're in a frat as well. So I know that frats also take a lot of your time. So I was just wondering, what would your methods be to help you manage all of it?
I'm not in any position, or I'm not even going to be running for any position in AK Psi right now. And although it does take up a good amount of my time, I'm having talked to people in CAB about when they meet, there's definitely time for me to organize with Pa'a and to put a lot of time and effort into my position, given I win the election for external affairs, of course. But I'm willing to take a step back from it as well, because I feel like I have a lot of love for this organization. That's not just me saying that, but it's I don't know. I love how I'm willing to put myself out there for Pa.
Hi, could you elaborate on outreach to more philanthropies and charities? What exactly did you have planned?
I think I was inspired by, I wish I could remember the name, but AP brought out, or Angelo brought out the organization to help the Philippines for PCN. That was really inspiring to me. And I wish I could remember the names right now, but one of the organizations I want to reach out to, not necessarily a philanthropy or charity, but I really want to have reach out to FONS out in Stockton, the Filipino American National Historical Society. They have a museum up there, and they have a lot of members up there from whatever member who would be willing to come out and talk to us about their experiences being Filipino in America, their home experiences, and having people who have that Filipino background and that Filipino American background come to UC Merced and share that with us. Because I feel like we're very isolated from a lot of that here. You can search up FONS, FANHS, if that's easier, if you want to.